The fateful day when I was having a long lunch with my elderly mother, when I saw people surrounding my house with weapons and a number of vehicles. And I knew the day that I had been waiting had arrived. We were put in a cell that was crowded. There was no place to sleep, so we slept while squatting that day until 3 days later when we were allocated to respective cells. And the general sanitation in prison was very bad.
You lost your mother while in remand. You were also denied the opportunity to her burial. How did you make peace with this?
It has been quite a struggle to make peace with what happened. My mother was one of the closest persons to me. She was my mentor. She was a teacher by profession. She had worked for over 65 years as a teacher. She inspired me to become a journalist at an early stage. She taught me how to write my first essay when I was 4 years old. So she meant quite a lot, and she had sacrificed a lot as a single mother to groom me to a person I'd become.
Eric, you were released from jail because you agreed to a plea bargain. Why did you accept that?
President John Magufuli cautioned that those who didn't enter plea bargain should be prepared to stay in prison for 20 years because they were not going to, the government was not going to give priority to cases, plea bargain cases. So that was one. But secondly, my health had become really bad, and there was no good medical care in prisons.
But the plea bargain basically means accepting a crime. Doesn't that taint your name?
It does. It has tainted me. So it's been quite hard at a personal level as a journalist, where credibility, integrity, are key.
Now that there's a new president, Samia Suluhu Hassan, are you planning to appeal?
I have made a personal appeal to her that she needed to correct what happened in the past 5 years. She needs to be seen as upholding protecting the rights of citizens, and setting up a mechanism that would allow all the victims of the injustices that may have happened in the past 5 years to be heard. So we're giving her time to see how she is going to handle this. If we don't see any political commitment to correcting that, I'm sure myself and other victims who faced other injustices, we will have no choice other than going to court to seek the court intervention.
Governments have always been blamed for tightening press freedom. But do journalists themselves adhere to journalistic ethics?
Well, whether the journalists adhere to journalism ethics is a question of debate. We understand that in the Tanzanian context, there are still challenges that many journalists still face, when it comes to doing their work.
Looking back, do you still want to remain with the same career, journalism?
Journalism is my childhood dream. And I spent lots of years preparing myself to become a journalist. So I have never imagined myself doing something else other than journalism. However, I have decided to take time off to reflect of what happened to me personally and the country before I move forward.